Forests cover about 45% of China's land area, yet they are rarely thought of when one pictures China. Many think of deserts, mountains, and farmlands when imagining the country. However, China has 4 major forest types and many subcategories, making it one of the most forested countries in the world. And though the trees may not always be tall and leafy, there is beauty in their branches. So join me as we journey through China's forests from bamboo groves to pine trees to see the amazing diversity that exists within its woodlands. I remember when I first arrived in China, everyone kept telling me how beautiful the mountains were, so I set out to see them for myself. On my way to the mountains, I walked through this forest, which was a bit underwhelming to say the least. The trees seemed small, scrawny, and totally unfamiliar. However, as I turned the corner and started up the path, my jaw dropped because there they were. The most beautiful, gigantic, ancient trees that I had ever seen. It was like walking into another world. That's when I learned that these were Chinese fir trees. They have flat tops with a roundish outline and soft, feathery branches. This made me realize that just because something seems small from afar doesn't mean it isn't beautiful. Another thing I noticed was all the different shades of green. The needles on the trees were a deeper shade of green than the leaves of the bushes and shrubs growing beneath them. Even the bark of the trees had hints of green in it, which contrasted nicely with the light brown trunks. I also noticed tiny little buds along the branches. They looked really cute. At first I thought they might be some sort of fruit, but I quickly realized that they were actually the beginnings of new needles. These were very young and old at the same time. I found this fascinating, and I hope you do too. As I continued my walk, I came across a fallen tree and was surprised to see patches of moss on it. Some parts were completely covered while others had little patches. This made me wonder why some areas had more growth than others. After a bit of research, I learned that it had to do with the environment and how well the moss could survive there. The parts of the log that had more moss were probably more moist and shady, which is perfect for moss. Moss needs moisture to grow and can't tolerate a lot of sunlight, so it makes sense that it would thrive in these areas. A little further down the path, I came across an interesting sight. A large tree had grown right over the path and even had roots growing over it. The tree looked like it was trying to take over the path, and it made me wonder how long it had been growing there. I stopped and took a few deep breaths, enjoying the fresh air and feeling the breeze on my skin. I could hear birds chirping in the trees and the wind rustling through the needles. It was peaceful and quiet except for the sound of a nearby stream. I felt relaxed and happy just being surrounded by all this green. After a while, I continued on my way, eager to see what else the forest had in store for me. As I walked, I noticed that the ground was covered in a thick layer of pine needles. It had decomposed over time and formed a soft, spongy surface. I also noticed that there were no leaves on the ground, only pine needles. This made me wonder why. After doing some research, I learned that pine trees have adapted to conserve water. They have a waxy coating on their needles that helps them reduce water loss through evaporation. But this adaptation also means that the needles don't break down as easily as other leaves. Instead, they stay on the tree for 3 to 5 years before they fall off. There were also many different types of plants growing on the forest floor. There were some small flowers, but most of the plants were shrubs and bushes. Some of the plants were growing close to the ground, while others were climbing up the trees. There were also a lot of different fungi growing on the ground. I didn't stop to take a closer look at them, but I could tell that there were many different types. Overall, the forest was a beautiful and peaceful place to be. I felt relaxed and happy just being surrounded by all the green trees and plants. Although China has vast forests, there are also huge areas of farmland. In order to feed its large population, China ranks second in the world for total planted area used for crops and first for total area harvested. One of the most famous forests in China is the bamboo forest in Hangzhou. Bamboo is a type of woody grass that grows in tropical and temperate climates around the world. But here in China, it is considered an endangered ecosystem. Once covering vast areas of eastern China, much of the bamboo forest has been destroyed due to human activity. Despite this, the remaining bamboo forests are still home to a variety of wildlife, including giant pandas. The Mozo bamboo in particular is a symbol of China and features heavily in Chinese culture. This forest is a great place to get lost and wander around. It's also a popular spot for hiking and picnicking. The bamboo forest is a beautiful and serene place that is definitely worth a visit. China is also home to some of the tallest trees in the world. In the Yunnan province, there is a grove of Chinese yew trees that are over 2,000 years old and 30 meters tall. These trees are some of the oldest living things in the world, and they are a reminder of the country's rich natural history. Another type of tree that grows in China is the ginkgo biloba. These trees are also found in other parts of the world, but they are most associated with China. Ginkgo biloba trees turn a brilliant gold color in the autumn, and they are a common sight in parks and gardens throughout the country. China is also home to a number of different types of shrubs and bushes. For example, there is the lespedeza shrub, which is a small shrub with purple flowers. There is also the wigala bush, which is a larger shrub with pink or red flowers. In addition to these shrubs and bushes, China is also home to a number of different types of vines. For example, there is the wisteria vine, which is a climbing vine with purple or white flowers. There is also the clematis vine, which is a climbing vine with large showy flowers. In addition to the plant life, China is also home to a variety of animals, including many different types of birds. For example, there are over 200 species of woodpeckers in China, as well as a variety of other birds of prey, songbirds, and water birds. In addition to the birds, China is also home to a variety of mammals, including several species of deer, as well as monkeys, squirrels, and rabbits. China is also home to a variety of reptiles and amphibians, including snakes, lizards, and frogs. In addition to these animals, China is also home to a variety of insects, including butterflies, beetles, and dragonflies. China has the largest area of planted forest in the world, but its forests still face challenges such as climate change, invasive species, and habitat fragmentation. Despite these challenges, China is working hard to protect its forests and the biodiversity they contain. In recent years, China has made great strides in reforestation and has seen a significant increase in forest cover. China is also working to combat invasive species and protect endangered species such as the giant panda. Despite the challenges facing China's forests, the country is home to some of the most beautiful and biodiverse forests in the world. China is full of surprises, and its forests are no exception. From the towering pines to the graceful willows to the delicate bamboo, China's trees are truly a sight to behold. In addition to the trees, China's forests are also home to a variety of other plant and animal life. No matter where you go in China, you are sure to be impressed by the beauty of its forests. So if you ever have the chance to visit China, be sure to take some time to explore its forests. You won't be disappointed. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for coming on this journey with me through China's amazing forests. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. We've got lots more adventures planned, and we'd love for you to join us. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.